Good morning and welcome to Better Thyself segment of Dr. Lamba's Awakening Call. We have often heard that the bridges collapse, infrastructure collapses, and the bridges collapse because the pillars that support that bridge are not strong enough. But do we ever consider the bridge that connects our mind to ourselves? There's an invisible bridge in each human being. That's what I feel. And that bridge, when it collapses, then you are frustrated, disappointed, dejected. This bridge connects your mind to the current reality on one side, cherished dreams on the other. And when the connection between the cherished dreams and the current reality is lost, and it's lost because the bridge has collapsed, then you are lost in the wilderness. And when you are able to walk through this bridge until the dream milestone is reached, you call that a success. And that makes you feel happy, joyful, and everywhere there's an aura of glee, mirth. How is it that we don't recognize this bridge that exists in the human mind? The bridge, which I say connects you with the reality on one side, harsh, cold, demanding, and dreams on the other side, fantasies, daydreams, objectives, all rolled in one. And well, in most people, I have found that people spend their time navigating on this path without knowing the curves, the ups and downs of the bridge. And regret happens when the goal is visible on the way, but people run out of the necessary fuel to advance further. It's just like a car. You're going, and then you realize that this is a dream, this is a way I can realize it. You see the bridge, but then the fuel is not there in the car and it stalls. Again, the result is dejection, despair, frustration. And it happens all the same time. Either the concrete of the bridge has collapsed, and the concrete is the strength of your mental capability, or it has become overused and exhausted. And if we know the main pillars that support this bridge, that will make you feel strong, it will give you strength and sustain you in the long run. What are those pillars? First is belief. The first pillar of this unseen bridge is absolute, unshakable, unquestionable belief in yourself. Not in some deity, not in some idol, not in some book, but in yourself. And a large majority of the people do not start their journey only because they don't have faith in themselves. They don't believe themselves. It is a must to be self confident and aware of the universal powers bestowed on all of us. And if this pillar crumbles, this is one of the six pillars that support the bridge of the mind, then there is no scope for the reconstruction of the bridge. It's better for a person to step on the journey of dreams with a rock strong belief. And belief by itself is only one of the pillars. The second is resilience. The road and the bridge that connects it is never smooth. Now let's be very clear. It's a very curvy thing. It might be in the shape of an S, it might be ups and downs, there might be bumps. And if you can overcome obstacles on the way, you are worthy of your goals. Traffic jams, potholes, blocks, abrupt turns, rough weather are part and parcel of this journey. And the traveler has to be prepared for all eventualities. So have you got to be. You might be required to pause a bit or take a bylay, but care should be taken that come what may, the engine of your car of success doesn't stop. Keep moving. Keep moving with a focus glued. But be resilient. And when you are resilient, the journey becomes pleasant. You are able to accept the potholes and the obstacles. But in case you are not resilient, you are tempted to surrender. You are tempted to stop. Acceptance is the key of resilience. Be ready to face the challenge, and the problems will run away. They'll vanish. Like the fog and the mist vanish when the sun rises. The third pillar is intuitiveness. It is often said that logic can take you from A to B. If you're logical, if you can reason, then you can be successful. Yes, that's correct. But if you are imaginative, if you let your intuition play a major role, then your success is all but guaranteed. The road less traveled is the one which leads to a never before milestone. And never before milestone is visible to you only if you have got strong intuitive power. You have to strengthen this pillar. And to strengthen this pillar, you need to work on a powerful dream. When the destination is intuitively inspired, when your gut feeling says do it, then it creates abundant energy. And that energy is the fuel for you to succeed. For any person withholding such a motivation, such a goal, obstacles become insignificant and the travel time becomes joyful. Practicing regular mindfulness, leading a lifestyle that is mindful, are the key sources of intuition. Let your mind have free play. If it wants to daydream, let it daydream. If it wants to wander in the unknown pastures, let it do so. But you would see, once your intuitive strength is restored, you will experience peace and pleasure. There will be synchronization of the two peace and pleasure. Naturally, you must be thinking, what's the fourth pillar? There's a decision and the choices to make that decision. There's one goal and you decide to reach that goal. But there can be various ways. So you have got to choose the way. And that pillar is very strong, very necessary. You make a wrong choice, and all the other pillars cannot support you. The unfolding of the life as future is nothing but the result of your choices. You remember last week, I had talked that each action, each objective has a consequence. So your choice has a consequence. And the followed of the choice made by you would have immediate repercussions. I agree, no one can be sure of the right decision in a given situation. But if you are driven by the values and by your intuition, the first urging of the mind, which is unsullied, unadulterated, pure, pristine pure, then you can be sure that you cannot be wrong. And if you're governed by the instinct of taking calculated risk, you can always rely on your choices. Decision making is an art, I agree. But then you can learn it when you are a kid and the stakes are not high. It is the responsibility of the parents and the teachers to inculcate this ability. But if they are not, you can do it yourself. Take the sport of others in case. Have a mentor. But then most important is let your mind have a free play. The pillar of the strong of this stone is a powerful mind pit. If your intuition, if your mind is strong, if your thinking, if your first reaction is clear, then this pillar would be strong. Wrong choice is always there when other factors come into being. Selfish interest, considerations which have no connection with the goal, or trying to shortcut them. Shortcuts always turn out to be the longest roads. You want to be successful, you start indulging in corrupt practices. Sooner or later, events would overtake you. But if you are clear and your hard work, your objectivity, your authenticity are supporting you, then you need not be afraid. Now comes the fifth pillar, and that is the attitude, giving attitude, not taking. Our life begins with the lesson of acquiring, and that's a tragedy. A child wants to acquire everything, and the parents don't tell the child to give as well. If you start giving, if you start teaching the child the art of giving without patronizing, and when we give, we always give with a feeling of patronizing that we are the givers and the recipient is someone at a lower level. That's so. Strive for acquiring, but then acquiring should be knowledge, honesty, values of life, and the other things like wealth, property, richness, they'll automatically come up. If you're honest and authentic, your relations will come to you. You don't have to go and build relations. If the people know that you have integrity, they'll come to you. You don't have to hunt for the people. Jobs will come to you if they know that you are capable and honest. Main is the attitude of giving in a job. Give your best, your talent, your rich experience, your imagination, your creativity. But if you try to acquire not knowledge, but only wealth, only money, then you are missing out the real joys. The essence is missing. Renounce as much as you can, but I'm not saying renounce the word. Renounce the desire to possess. Attitude of getting should replace the nurture of the ability of giving. The joy of giving would feed your self esteem, make you feel elevated, and deliver a sense of self actualization. If you compromise this pillar, the journey at the end of the bridge would be extremely challenging and stressful. I've seen people sitting on the piles of wealth and they're depressed because the pillar of giving has not been appropriately curated. And then eat well and exercise well. The pillar is the most fragile out of all. The primary set of food for human being is the food we eat. And I don't believe in those people who say eat is no. I'm a hedonist. enjoy food, enjoy life, dress well. When age is in the favorable compartment, youth ignores these aspects. But most of us, the realization to eat well and do proper body maintenance comes a bit late. It does. But if it comes sooner, and then you start taking care of your health when you are in right shape, it's easy to do so. Otherwise, well, you are a fair prey to the physicians. That pillar, if you're physically sick, even your mental capability, except in rare circumstances, I'm not talking about myself. So, the pleasure of life of eating, dressing, and looking after your physical appearance is the sixth pillar, equally important. So, these are the six pillars that support the mind's connectivity with the reality, which bridge the dream and the reality. And if you can traverse this bridge, and the bridge is robust to take the journeys that you are undertaking, and it will not collapse under you, then ensure that these six pillars are looked after and they are not wasted. And you would find life would be better. And you would find that you are a better human being. So, better thyself by building this bridge, erecting the six pillars, maintaining them carefully, nurture these, cure them, support them, strengthen them all the time. And believe me, you'll be bettering thyself. Thank you.